Torah portion, Vayak'hel, Pekudei, 22 and 23. Shabbat Shalom. Exodus chapter 35. Moshe assembled the whole community of the people of Israel and said to them, "These are the things which Adonai has ordered you to do. In 6 days work is to be done, but the seventh day is to be a holy day for you, a Shabbat of complete rest in honor of Adonai. Whoever does any work on it is to be put to death. You are not to kindle a fire in any of your homes on Shabbat." Moshe said to the whole community of the people of Israel, "Here is what Adonai has ordered. Take up a collection for Adonai from among yourselves. Anyone whose heart makes him willing is to bring the offerings for Adonai: gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, fine linen, goat's hair, tanned ram skins, and fine leather, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil and for the fragrant incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ritual vest and the breastplate." Then let all the craftsmen among you come and make everything Adonai has ordered: the tabernacle with its tent, covering, fasteners, planks, crossbars, posts, and sockets; the ark with its poles, ark cover, and the curtain to screen it; the table with its poles, all its utensils, and the showbread; the menorah for the light with its utensils and lamps, and the oil for the light; the incense altar with its poles, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense; the screen for the entranceway at the entrance to the tabernacle; the altar for burnt offerings with its poles and all its utensils; the basin with its base; the tapestries for the courtyard with their posts and sockets; the screen for the gateway of the courtyard; the tent pegs for the tabernacle; the tent pegs for the courtyard with their ropes; the garments for officiating, for serving in the holy place, and the garments for Aharon the Kohen, and the garments for his sons, so that they can serve in the office of Kohen. Then the whole community of the people of Israel withdrew from Moshe's presence. And they came, everyone whose heart stirred him, and everyone whose spirit made him willing, and brought Adonai's offering for the work on the tent of meeting, for the service in it, and for the holy garments. Both men and women came, as many as had willing hearts. They brought nose rings, earrings, signet rings, belts, all kinds of gold jewelry, everyone bringing an offering of gold to Adonai. Everyone who had blue, purple, or scarlet yarn, fine linen, tanned ram skins, or fine leather brought them. Everyone contributing silver or bronze brought his offering for Adonai, and everyone who had acacia wood suitable for any of the work brought it. All the women who were skilled at spinning got to work and brought what they had spun: the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and the fine linen. Likewise, the women whose hearts stirred them to use their skill spun the goat's hair. The leaders brought the onyx stones and the stones to be set for the ritual vest and the breastplate, the spices and the oil for the light, for the anointing oil and for the fragrant incense. Thus every man and woman of the people of Israel whose heart impelled him to contribute to any of the work Adonai had ordered through Moshe brought it to Adonai as a voluntary offering. Moshe said to the people of Israel, "See, Adonai has singled out Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah. He has filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge concerning every kind of artisanry. He is a master of design in gold, silver, bronze, cutting precious stones to be set, wood carving, and every other craft. Adonai has also given him and Oholiav, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. He has filled them with the skill needed for every kind of work, whether done by an artisan, designer, an embroiderer, using blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, or a weaver. They have the skill for every kind of work and design." Chapter 36. Bezalel and Oholiav, along with all the craftsmen whom Adonai has endowed with the wisdom and skill necessary to carry out the work needed for the sanctuary, are to do exactly according to everything Adonai has ordered. Moshe summoned Bezalel, Oholiav, and every craftsman to whom Adonai had given wisdom, everyone whose heart stirred him, to come and take part in the work. They received from Moshe all the offering which the people of Israel had brought for the work of building the sanctuary. But they still kept bringing voluntary offerings every morning, until all the craftsmen doing the work for the sanctuary left the work they were involved with to tell Moshe, "The people are bringing far more than is needed to do the work Adonai has ordered done. So Moshe gave an order which was proclaimed throughout the camp. Neither men nor women are to make any further efforts for the sanctuary offering. In this way, the people were restrained from making additional contributions. For what they had already was not only sufficient for doing all the work, but too much. With all the skilled men who were carrying out the work, Bezalel made the tabernacle, using 10 sheets of finely woven linen, and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. He made them with cheruvim worked in, that had been crafted by a skilled artisan. Each sheet was 42 feet long and 6 feet wide. All the sheets were the same size. He joined 5 sheets one to another, and the other 5 sheets he joined one to another. He made loops of blue on the edge of the outermost sheet in the first set, and did the same on the edge of the outermost sheet in the second set. He made 50 loops on the one sheet, and he made 50 loops on the edge of the sheet in the second set. The loops were opposite one another. He made 50 fasteners of gold and coupled the sheets to each other with the fasteners, so that the tabernacle formed a single unit. He made sheets of goat's hair to be used as a tent covering the tabernacle. He made 11 sheets. Each sheet was 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. All 11 sheets were the same size. He joined 5 sheets together and 6 sheets together. He made 50 loops on the edge of the outermost sheet in the first set, and 50 loops on the outermost sheet in the second set. He made 50 fasteners of bronze to join the tent together, so that it would be a single unit. He made a covering for the tent of tanned ram skins, and an outer covering of fine leather. He made the upright planks of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each plank was 15 feet long and 2 1/4 feet wide. There were 2 projections on each plank, and the planks were joined one to another. This is how he made all the planks for the tabernacle. He made the planks for the tabernacle as follows: 20 planks for the south side, facing southward. He made 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under one plank for its 2 projections, and 2 sockets under another plank for its 2 projections. For the second side of the tabernacle, to the north, he made 20 planks and their 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets under one plank and 2 under another. For the rear part of the tabernacle, toward the west, he made 6 planks. For the corners of the tabernacle in the rear, he made 2 planks, double from the bottom all the way to the top, but joined at a single ring. He did the same with both of them at the 2 corners. Thus there were 8 planks with their silver sockets, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each plank. He made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks on the one side of the tabernacle, 5 crossbars for the planks of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 crossbars for the planks at the side of the tabernacle at the rear toward the west. He made the middle crossbar so that it extended from the one end of the planks to the other, halfway up. He overlaid the planks with gold, made gold rings for them, through which the crossbars would pass, and overlaid the crossbars with gold. He made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. He made them with cheruvim worked in that had been crafted by a skilled artisan. He made for it 4 posts of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold and gold hooks, and cast for them 4 silver sockets. For the entrance to the tent he made a screen of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen, in colors, the work of a weaver, with its 5 posts and their hooks. He overlaid their capitals and their attached rings for hanging with gold, while their live sockets were of bronze. Chapter 37. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood 3 3/4 feet long, 2 1/4 feet wide, and 2 1/4 feet high. He overlaid it with pure gold inside and outside, and put a molding of gold for it around the top. He cast 4 gold rings for it at its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. He made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He put the carrying poles for the ark and the rings on the side of the ark. He made a cover for the ark of pure gold, 3 3/4 feet long, and 2 1/4 feet wide. He made 2 cheruvim of gold. He made them of hammered work for the 2 ends of the ark cover, 1 cheruv for one end and 1 cheruv for the other end. He made the cheruvim of one piece with the ark cover at its 2 ends. The cheruvim had their wings spread out above, so that their wings covered the ark. Their faces were toward each other and toward the ark cover. He made the table of acacia wood, 3 feet long, 18 inches wide, and 18 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and put a molding of gold around the top of it. He made around it a rim of a handbreadth wide, and put a molding of gold around the rim. He cast for it 4 gold rings and attached the rings to the 4 corners, near its 4 legs. The rings to hold the carrying poles for the table were placed close to the rim. He made the carrying poles for the table of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He made the utensils to be put on the table, its dishes, pans, bowls, and pitchers of pure gold. He made the menorah of pure gold. He made it of hammered work. Its base, shaft, cups, rings of outer leaves, and flowers were a single unit. There were 6 branches extending from its sides, 3 branches of the menorah on one side of it, and 3 on the other. On one branch were 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, a ring of outer leaves and petals. Likewise, on the opposite branch, 3 cups shaped like almond blossoms, a ring of outer leaves and petals, and similarly for all 6 branches extending from the menorah. On the central shaft of the menorah were 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms, each with its ring of outer leaves and petals. Where each pair of branches joined the central shaft was a ring of outer leaves of one piece with the pair of branches, thus for all 6 branches. Their rings of outer leaves and their branches were of one piece with the shaft. Thus the whole menorah was one piece of hammered work made of pure gold. He made its 7 lamps, its tongs, and its trays of pure gold. The menorah and its utensils were made of 66 pounds of pure gold. He made the altar on which to burn incense of acacia wood, 18 inches square and 3 feet high. Its horns were a single unit. He overlaid it with pure gold, its top all around its side and its horns, and he put around it a molding of gold. He made 2 gold rings for it under its molding at the 2 corners on both sides to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of aromatic plant substances, as would an expert perfume maker. Exodus chapter 38. He made the altar for burnt offerings of acacia wood, 7.5 feet long and 7.5 feet wide. It was square and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for it on its 4 corners. The horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the utensils for the altar, its pots, shovels, basins, meat hooks, and fire pans. All the utensils he made of bronze. He made for the altar a gate of bronze netting under its rim, reaching halfway up the altar. He cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the bronze gate to hold the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He put the carrying poles into the rings on the sides of the altar. He made it of planks and hollow inside. He made the basin of bronze with its base of bronze from the mirrors of the women serving at the entrance at the tent of meeting. He made the courtyard. On the south side, facing southward, the tapestries for the courtyard were made of finely woven linen, 150 feet long, supported on 20 posts in 20 bronze sockets. The hooks on the posts and the attached rings for hanging were of silver. On the north side they were 150 feet long, hung on 20 posts and 20 bronze sockets, with the hooks on the posts and their rings of silver. On the west side were tapestries 75 feet long, hung on 10 posts and 10 sockets, with the hooks on the posts and their rings of silver. On the east side were tapestries 75 feet long. The tapestries for the one side of the gateway were 22.5 feet long, hung on 3 posts and 3 sockets. Likewise for the other side, on either side of the gate were tapestries 22.5 feet long, on 3 posts and 3 sockets. All the tapestries for the courtyard all the way around were of finely woven linen. The sockets for the posts were of bronze. The hooks on the posts and their rings were of silver. The capitals of the posts were overlaid with silver, and all the posts of the courtyard were banded with silver. The screen for the gateway to the courtyard was the work of a weaver in colors, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. Its length was 30 feet, and its height 7.5 feet all the way along, like the tapestries of the courtyard. It had 4 posts and 4 bronze sockets, with silver hooks, capitals overlaid with silver and silver fasteners. The tent pegs for the tabernacle and for the courtyard around it were of bronze. Then starts Parashah 23, Pekudei. These are the accounts of the tabernacle of the testimony recorded as Moshe ordered by the Levites, under the direction of Itamar, the son of Aharon, the Kohen, priest. But Salel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything that Adonai ordered Moshe to make. Assisting him was Oholiav, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, who was an engraver, a designer, and a weaver in colors, in blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and in fine linen. All the gold used for the work and everything needed for the sanctuary, the gold of the offering, weighed 29 talents, 730 shekels, that is 1,930 pounds, using the sanctuary shekel. The silver given by the community weighed 100 talents, that's 1,775 shekels, 6,650 pounds, using the sanctuary shekel. This was a beka per person, that is half a shekel, 1/5 of an ounce, using the sanctuary shekel. For everyone 20 years or older counted in the census, 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were used to cast the sockets for the sanctuary and the sockets for the curtain. 100 sockets made from the 100 talents. 1 talent, 66 pounds per socket. The 1,775 shekels, 50 pounds, he used to make hooks for the posts, to overlay their capitals, and to make fasteners for them. The bronze in the offering came to 4,680 pounds. He used it to make the sockets for the entrance in the tent of meeting, to the tent of meeting. The bronze altar, its bronze grate, all the utensils for the altar, the sockets for the courtyard around it, the sockets for the gateway to the courtyard, all the tent pegs for the tabernacle, and all the tent pegs for the courtyard around it. From the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn they made the garments for officiating, for serving in the holy place, and they made the holy garments for Aharon, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He made the ritual vest of gold, of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely woven linen. They hammered the gold into thin plates and cut them into threads in order to work it into the blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and the fine linen crafted by the skilled artisan. They made shoulder pieces for it, joined together. They were joined together at the two ends. The decorated belt on the vest used to fasten it was of the same workmanship and materials, gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely twined linen, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. They worked the onyx stones, mounted in gold settings, engraving them with the names of the sons of Israel, as they would be engraved on a seal. Then he put them on the shoulder pieces of the vest to be called stones, calling to mind the sons of Israel, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He made the breastplate. It was crafted by a skilled artisan and made like the work of the ritual vest, of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely woven linen. When folded double, the breastplate was square. Doubled, it was a handspan by a handspan. They put on it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a carnelian, a topaz, and an emerald. The second row was a green feldspar, a sapphire, and a diamond. The third row an orange zircon, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were mounted in settings of gold. The stones corresponded to the names of the 12 sons of Israel. They were engraved with their names as a seal would be engraved, each name representing one of the 12 tribes. On the breastplate they made 2 pure gold chains, twisted like cords. Also for the breastplate they made 2 settings of gold and 2 gold rings, and they put the 2 rings at the 2 ends of the breastplate. They put the 2 twisted gold chains and the 2 rings at the ends of the breastplate, and attached the other 2 ends of the twisted chains to the front of the shoulder pieces of the ritual vest. They also made 2 gold rings and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate, at its edge on the side facing in toward the vest. Also they made 2 gold rings and attached them low on the front part of the vest's shoulder pieces, near the join, above the vest's decorated belt. Then they bound the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the vest with a blue cord, so that it could be on the vest's decorated belt, and so that the breastplate would not swing loose from the vest, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He made the robe for the ritual vest. It was woven entirely of blue, with its opening in the middle, like that of a coat of mail, and with a border around the opening, so that it wouldn't tear. On the bottom hem they made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet, and woven linen, and they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates all the way around the hem of the robe, between the pomegranates, that is, bell, pomegranate, all the way around the hem of the robe for service, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. They made the tunics of finely woven linen for Aharon and his sons, the turban of fine linen, the splendid headgear of fine linen, the linen shorts, and the sash of finely woven linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, the work of a weaver in colors, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. They made the ornament for the holy turban of pure gold, wrote on it the words, "Set apart for Adonai," like the engraving on a seal, and tied a blue cord on it to fasten it to the front of the turban, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Thus all the work for the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, was finished, with the people of Israel doing everything exactly as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Then they brought the tabernacle to Moshe, the tent and all its furnishings, clasps, planks, crossbars, posts, and sockets, the covering of tanned ram skins, the covering of fine leather, and the curtain for the screen, the ark for the testimony, its poles and the ark cover, the table, all its utensils, and the showbread, the pure menorah, its lamps, and their arrangement for display, its accessories, and the oil for the light, the gold altar, the anointing oil, the fragrant incense, the screen for the entrance to the tent, the bronze altar with its bronze grate, poles and all its utensils, the basin with its base, the tapestries for the courtyard, with their posts and sockets, the screen for the entrance to the courtyard, with its ropes and tent pegs, all the utensils for the service in the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, the garments for officiating, for serving in the holy place, the holy garments for Aharon the Kohen, and the garments for his sons to serve in the office of Kohen. The people of Israel did all the work just as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Moshe saw all the work, and there it was, they had done it. Exactly as Adonai had ordered, they had done it, and Moshe blessed them. Chapter 40. Adonai said to Moshe, "On the first day of the first month you are to set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Put in it the ark for the testimony, and conceal the ark with the curtain. Bring in the table and arrange its display. Bring in the menorah and light its lamps. Set the gold altar for incense in front of the ark for the testimony, and set up the screen at the entrance to the tabernacle. Place the altar for burnt offerings in front of the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting. Set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water in it. Set up the courtyard all the way around, and hang up the screen for the entrance to the courtyard. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and everything in it. Consecrate it with all its furnishings, then it will be holy. Anoint the altar for burnt offerings with all its utensils. Consecrate the altar, then the altar will be especially holy. Anoint the basin and its base, and consecrate it. Then bring Aharon and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Put the holy garments on Aharon, anoint him and consecrate him, so that he can serve me in the office of Kohen. Bring his sons, put tunics on them, and anoint them as you anointed their father, so that they can serve me in the office of Kohen. Their anointing will signify that the office of Kohen is theirs through all their generations." Moshe did this. He acted in accordance with everything Adonai had ordered him to do. On the first day of the first month of the second year, the tabernacle was set up. Moshe erected the tabernacle, put its sockets in place, put up its planks, put in its crossbars above it, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He took and put the testimony inside the ark, put the poles on the ark, and set the ark cover above on the ark. Then he brought the ark into the tabernacle, set up the curtain as a screen, and concealed the ark for the testimony, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He put the table in the tent of meeting on the side of the tabernacle facing north, outside the curtain. He arranged a row of bread on it before Adonai, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He put the menorah in the tent of meeting across from the table, on the side of the tabernacle facing south. Then he lit the lamps before Adonai, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He set the gold altar in the tent of meeting in front of the curtain, and burned on it the incense made from aromatic spices, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He set up the screen at the entrance to the tabernacle. The altar for burnt offerings he placed at the entrance to the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, and offered on it the burnt offering and the grain offering, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. He set the basin between the tent of meeting and the altar and put water in it for washing, so that Moshe and Aharon and his sons could wash their hands and feet there, so that they could wash when entering the tent of meeting and when approaching the altar, as Adonai had ordered Moshe. Finally, he erected the courtyard around the tabernacle and the altar and set up the screen for the entrance to the courtyard. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of Adonai filled the tabernacle. Moshe was unable to enter the tent of meeting because the cloud remained on it, and the glory of Adonai filled the tabernacle. Whenever the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the people of Israel continued with all their travels. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they did not travel onward until the day when it was taken up. For the cloud of Adonai was above the tabernacle during the day, and fire was in the cloud at night, so that all the house of Israel could see it throughout all their travels. Yep, and then it says, Hazak, Hazak, Vani Hazak, be strong, and let us be strengthened. So, Vayak'hel, there we go. Vayak'hel, the Haftarah, is 1 Kings 7:40 to 50. The Berit Hadashah, or New Testament, or New Covenant, whatever you prefer to say. Suggested readings for Vayak'hel is 2 Corinthians 9:1 to 15, Messianic Jews, or Hebrews, 9:1 to 14, Revelation 11:1 to 13. And then for Pekudei, or Pekudei, is 1 Kings 7:51 to 8:21, and Revelation 15:5 to 8 for the New Covenant readings. So, Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos, have a great weekend, many blessings and Shalom. Thanks for listening. This is so important. Never forget our King, Yeshua HaMashiach. Shabbat Shalom.